This is a Bon Jovi interview in January 1987.
Okay, Kathy prepared some questions, but we're not used to reading. But anyway, so we'll start out by just asking you basic things like, now all of a sudden you've got the #1 album.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, as a boy growing up in New Jersey, did you ever expect this?
Well, no, I don't think anybody ever expects it. But on the other hand, you never make an album with the attitude of, oh, it's gonna do okay. You hope that every album's gonna be a #1, but it never then again, it's like something that you really don't ever think of,
Yeah, but what did people say to you? You've got a lot of charisma. Did people say, oh yeah, you're gonna be a big rock star?
I don't know. I mean, when I pulled up here today, I looked outside and the Capitol Records building was up the block. 5 years ago when I was walking the streets out here trying to get a deal, I took a picture of that building. And I was like, I was a kid, I was like really excited. And I was like, wow, that's Capitol Records. And, today you drive by with #1 album in the country and, you sort of look at it a little differently,
Yeah.
It's pretty hip.
Wow. What goes on did you play, I know you were looking forward to playing the Meadowlands. Did you play that there?
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
What was it like?
It was probably the biggest show that's ever been done there. We hired a troupe of clowns and jugglers and fire eaters and trampolines and had a 40-foot painting of us across the Brendan Byrne Arena sign, and from searchlights to fireworks displays and 10,000 balloons, and it was quite an event. A horn section at midnight, and MTV was there to film it.
Were you fans there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, between our families, we could have sold out the Meadowlands,
Wow, can you go down to the drugstore back home without causing a stampede?
Oh, absolutely. It's Jersey's a whole different animal. It's a place where you go home and you're just one of the guys, I mean, I live right on the beach, a couple miles south of Asbury Park, and in Asbury there's like a museum now to all the guys that have come out of there. And, the museum is there, and then where I live, is the real thing, you know what I mean? I could go there, or anybody from all those other bands that have come out of Jersey. It's like a different animal. When you go to the bar, you go to the bar, and that's the way it is at home.
Growing up, were you always interested in music?
Yeah, it's all I ever wanted to do.
Have you held any unusual or strange jobs before doing this?
Absolutely. I worked in a junkyard, and I was a shoe salesman. I worked in a fast food joint. Sold newspapers, subscriptions door to door. None of those jobs which lasted very long.
Sounds like they could have been a good career.
Yeah, it was a serious job there.
Is that why you were the starving rock star? Did you go through like that whole bit where you had to play at night or work at night and play during the day?
I was playing clubs. I was still in high school, so I'd play all night and put on a pair of sunglasses and go to school in the morning, So I guess I was 16, 17 years old and playing the clubs already, sneaking in with fake ID. So it was something that, grew into this.
Did the girls think you were pretty cool? Or were you ever at school at all?
No, I went to school, but I was sort of like the guy that school would start at 8 o'clock and I'd get there about 5 after every day. And, I'd have to bribe the teacher to let me in, Then he sort of understood after a while, and I don't know if they quite knew what I was doing, but on the other hand, they knew that it was something that I was really working at hard enough that it didn't rub any of the teachers the wrong way, They just knew that it wasn't like I was just out in the parking lot. I was running through the parking lot.
You were a good kid.
Well, I don't know. They just knew that I was working at what I was doing. Well, my chair's sinking.
Are you thinking?
You always do that.
I just got shorter.
That's a
You have the most retarded chairs here. Is it a true story about you working in a recording studio? Oh, I think it was Power Station, and you'd wait till everyone left, like at 4, and make demo tapes.
Mm-hmm. The deal is that I was allowed to be the gopher and watch records being made, and when I had the chance, could make my own tapes, and that's when the studio wasn't booked, and that would usually be like 3, 4 in the morning, and I'd have to be out by noon, and I'd grab anybody who could barely work the machines, and we would try to make demos, and they gave me the chance to do that, and then you ran up a big bill. It's like working in a hotel, and then you check out and you got that room service bill at the end, and a few years later you had to pay it off.
Well, I was just hearing a little bit about your concert, that you've got a lot of energy and you have a lot of crowd involved.
I will personally vouch for that.
All right.
I was there.
That was the source. Okay.
the unnamed source.
Do you enjoy, talking with the audience?
Oh, absolutely. It's the whole reason for our existence is playing live, and the rest of it, the other 22 hours of the day, I'm not a fan of. I don't enjoy any of the rest of it. But tonight at 8, the house lights go down and the opening act goes on. I get wired for sound. Then I'm ready, and by 9:15, when it's time for us to play, it's scary, the things that go through your head,
What?
It's hard to explain. I was reading a thing in the paper a couple days ago about Lawrence Taylor and the Giants, and being from Jersey, like, we're big Giant fans, right? So Lawrence says, like, by game time, he goes, I'm ready to slap my mama. He goes, I want to throw up. Then I know I'm ready to play football. And it's like pretty much the same kind of an attitude that we have when we go out there to play.